yourself and you went to clean her up?
Was I upset?
Yeah, were you upset?
No, I wasn't upset.
No, you weren't upset?
Kids have accidents.
Okay.
And Anaya barely had accidents, so it wasn't nothing to be upset about. Anaya's potty trained. That's the way Anaya was laying. We wasn't in her seat. That's the way she was laying on the floor, though. So it was the left eye, and to my knowledge, she had to hit the tub. Because that was the only thing that was bruised, was right there.
This is Sierra Day, a woman desperately trying to conceal her horrific actions that completely betray the essence of motherhood. She has committed a crime that will be remembered as one of the most appalling things a parent has ever done to her child.
Devastates my entire life, my family, and the whole entire world.
As you can imagine, an emotional finale to a case that started just over a year ago when paramedics found Anaya's lifeless body in her mother's Euclid apartment.
On the morning of March 11, 2018, the scene at the Cultural Garden Apartments in Euclid was nothing short of a nightmare. Authorities arrived to find little Anaya Day Garrett, a 4-year-old toddler, lying unresponsive. Desperate attempts to save her led to a frantic rush to the hospital, but the grim reality set in when she was pronounced dead upon arrival. Her death was quickly ruled a homicide, resulting in the arrest and indictment of Sierra Day and Deontay Lewis on charges of aggravated murder. But here's where the story gets interesting. Upon her arrival at the hospital, Anaya was described as a mere shadow of a child, skin and bones, with her eyes frozen open, mouth hanging agape, and her body bruised, fragile, stiff, and cold. Medical reports revealed that Anaya's death was the result of a stroke caused by a brutal blow to the head, inflicted around 10 days to 2 weeks before she was brought to the hospital.
Anaya Day looked like an Auschwitz survivor, Your Honor. You could count each rib on that little body.
This violent act had set in motion a slow, agonizing decline. The little child, who deserved nothing but safety, love, and care, slowly withered away as her organs failed her. But the question was, who was responsible? And how could they commit such a heart-wrenching crime? The suspicions immediately fell on Sierra Day, the mother, and her boyfriend, Deontay Lewis, the so-called protectors of the child. This is Sierra's interrogation video.
So we have a lot of questions we want to ask you, but first I want to give you the opportunity to talk about why you're here and what led to you being brought in today.
Because I called the ambulance today, which my dude had called because we was very concerned because my daughter had stopped breathing.
Okay.
We went to Red Lobster, which was Thursday, and it was the first time going there. And I ate a lot.
It's important to know that Sierra Day knew she'd be questioned about her daughter from the start. To cover up for Anaya's fragile state, she tried to claim that Anaya had been eating regularly. This was just a desperate attempt to portray that she hadn't been neglectful, as if it would change the fact that her daughter was so painfully thin when she passed away.
It was like some pasta spaghetti with pasta spaghetti with pasta spaghetti. It's not crab legs, but it's shrimp. With shrimp, and she had some other stuff or whatever. But she was doing fine when we was there. She was having a good time. When we left, we went home as a family, sat down, watched movies and stuff. We noticed Anaya started acting weird after we gave her like snacks and stuff. She threw it back up. So I called the nurse hotline, which is a 24-hour line or whatever. And I said I was very concerned. We left Red Lobster. I want to know why is my daughter throwing up. She said it could be a stomach virus. So I said, okay. And to my knowledge, I know Anaya is not allergic to nothing. So what I did, I gave Anaya ginger and I gave her Tylenol. She threw that back up. So I just laid her down. So then come Friday, Anaya was still pretending to do the same thing. And also Thursday night, she peed on herself. Okay. And Anaya normally goes to the bathroom. That was awkward to me. She did that twice.
When did you call the nurse?
I called Thursday. He fed her, I think it was like Kim's, like French fries or whatever. She threw that back up. And I'm like, babe, I don't know what's going on because Anaya had never threw up this much. She just kept throwing up. And I'm like, I don't want to keep throwing up because it can make her lose weight. Anaya threw up again. I'm like, babe, I'm very, very concerned or whatever. So he was like, just let her lay down or whatever. So we let her lay down. He went to the store, he got her some soup.
What day was that?
For Saturday. He had got her some
Saturday.
soup.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, maybe she could take the soup down. I'm like, I don't want to keep giving her ginger ale, but he was like, we'll just give her ginger ale. I gave her ginger ale and I gave her some water. And she threw that back up.
Okay. And you're saying my dude, but you're talking about your boyfriend, right?
Boyfriend.
What's your boyfriend's name?
Deontay.
Okay. You can spell it.
DeonteLewis.
Okay.
Deontay Lewis was an old high school friend of Sierra. They had reconnected in 2017 and soon began dating. They eventually moved in together. However, as their relationship developed, Day's treatment of Anaya grew harsher, and she began to isolate Anaya from relatives and friends.
So come Saturday or whatever, he was like, just let her rest, don't bother her. I'm like, I'm very concerned because Anaya has never acted like this pertaining whatever she ate, whatever. I'm like, it could be allergic actually, but I was notified when she was born she wasn't allergic to nothing.
Okay.
But come Saturday, she was like, Mommy, I got a boo-boo. So I walked her to the bathroom and I sat on the toilet. I'm like, babe, we gotta do something. Either we call the paramedics, because I don't know what to take it from this point or whatever. So she sat on the toilet. My dude was making a chicken noodle soup, and I was giving her a little more ginger ale, and I put a little more Tylenol in the ginger ale a little bit. We noticed a boom, and I fell to the floor. There was a cut on her eye. So I put peroxide on it, and my dude had put some ice on it or whatever. So we took care of that. She was doing a little okay. But he was like, call the paramedics. I'm like, well, baby, just see how far it leaves from here. So we let her go. We let Anaya go to sleep or whatever. It comes Sunday. Me and my dude was asleep or whatever, and he was like, hey, you smell that? I'm like, no. And it was boo-boo, as if she was just moving around in the bed or whatever. So I took her out the bed, and I just started wiping the bed down, washed her up. I had to take her hair down because it was boo-boo in the bed, as if she was moving like something was wrong. Washed her up or whatever. She was doing good. When I noticed when she was in the tub, she was just doing some awkward breathing.
When was this?
Sunday. She was doing some awkward breathing, whatever. So I took her out the tub. I'm like, baby, I think we're gonna have to call the paramedics. I don't know what to do. So I noticed she stopped breathing for a minute. I'm like, so I tried to do CPR. I put 2 hands on her, and I did that. And it's like she came back. It's like she was gasping her. She had came back. So I just started putting clothes on her. I'm like, because I was like, Deontay, my dude, I'm like, I don't know what to do at this point. I tried to do CPR. None of that worked. He was like, give her some more ginger ale. I'm like, no, she could probably choke, whatever. So I'm like, just call the paramedics. So as he called the paramedics, I was talking to a young lady, whatever, and she was taking me through the steps that I already did. And she was like, keep doing 15, whatever you call that, over and over. And I kept doing it, and it didn't work. And I already knew it was going to lead to detectives and stuff because of the eye situation.
Okay.
But
You're right that the eye situation is troubling. When are you saying that happened, that she fell off
that
the
happened
toilet?
Saturday evening.
Saturday evening?
Mm-hmm.
You said that she fell.
We heard her. She was
toilet.
on the toilet because we went to go to the kitchen to go get some chicken noodle soup, and I went to go put some Tylenol on her ginger. We heard a big boom.
What time on Saturday did that happen?
I don't know what it was like. It was in the evening sometime.
Yeah, I did see Anaya and I saw the injury, and usually when it's lacerated like that, there'll be quite a bit of blood. The head bleeds a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys do to clean up the blood?
I put peroxide on it, and I laid, and she was a little warm too, so I laid a warm rag around her face.
This story sure sounds convenient. But the only problem with it is that falling from the toilet couldn't have generated enough force to account for the severe head injury Anaya sustained.
10 years ago,
Okay, and then when did you guys start dating?
we started dating around like July.
How did you guys hook back up after 10 years?
Through my twin brother. I mean, I would see him every now and then, but like through my twin brother.
When did he move in with you? Did you live at Harbor Crest when he moved in with you?
Yeah.
When was that?
around like August. I'm not sure, like, because you just been coming around like August.
Some of the injuries on Anaya today, I want to ask you questions about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We already talked about the eye. You explained how you said that happened. She also has a bruise on her head right here and a bump. What is that from?
I mean, she fell straight to the floor.
She fell straight to the floor?
Straight to the floor.
When?
Saturday evening, like I told you, she fell straight to the floor, and that's when I started doing all the nursery stuff on her, peroxide, putting the warm stuff on her face.
Where did she fall to the floor from?
From the toilet.
This was yet another lie about to be exposed by Sierra's own boyfriend. Deontay contradicted her story, stating that Anaya had slipped and hit her head on the tub. Through all these lies, one thing was crystal clear. The real reason behind Anaya's tragic injuries was entirely different.
When did she first start not seeming well?
Late when we left Red Lobster.
When you left Red Lobster?
She started acting weird. Okay. And I felt like it was probably allergic reaction, but I know Anaya not. To my knowledge, she's not allergic to nothing.
Okay, all right. So that was what night that you were at Red Lobster?
That was Thursday.
Okay. And when you guys came home from Red Lobster on Thursday, what time was that? Was it dark?
Yeah, lightweight. No-ish. Lightweight, no-ish.
I don't understand what
It was like, it get dark around like 5, like in between.
So what time do you think you went to Red Lobster on Thursday?
I don't remember what time I went. I just know I went to Red Lobster.
Okay, and once you got in the house, who's coming home with you on Thursday night from Red Lobster?
Just me, Deontay, and Anaya.
You, Deontay, and Anaya? Okay. And then you're in the house. When is the next time that you leave the house?
The next time, I don't remember. Oh, he left to go get pull-ups.
When was that?
Friday or Thursday, because she started peeing on herself.
Okay, now you're saying maybe it was Thursday?
I don't remember the exact day. I just noticed my daughter started peeing on herself, and I just told my dude to go get pull-ups because I didn't want to waste her clothes or pennies that she put on. Okay. Because she wasn't acting like Naya, hyper. Mm-hmm. Talkative. She's very talkative. She wasn't talkative. Okay. She'd just be like, "Mommy, I'm sleepy. Mommy, I want to lay down." Mm-hmm. That's why I just figured like it was a virus or something, a stomach virus, like the nurse told me it was probably like a stomach virus. Because Anaya's not allergic to something, allergic to nothing.
Okay. Okay, so then she didn't seem to be doing well, wasn't herself, said she was sleepy. She was doing a little bit okay, you knew she wasn't okay. And then how long after that did you notice a change?
She wasn't responding further.
How long? How long after you gave her a bath?
Only thing she kept saying when she was in the tub, "Mommy, I don't want to go to sleep. I want to lay down." Mm-hmm. So I just gave her. Only thing I knew to give her was ginger ale, for real, and Tylenol.
And then you laid her back down after the bath. Then what happened?
She kept acting like she couldn't breathe.
Okay.
So that's when I did the CPR thing.
Okay.
And I kept doing it over and over. And I also did mouth to mouth too, and that didn't help.
Okay. Are you trained in rescue breathing with your early childhood?
I took classes and stuff. That's why I prolonged to do CPR on her with 2 hands. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Because she's only 4 years old. She's a kid.
Okay. All right. So you have training in CPR, and you have training in administering CPR to children?
Yeah. Because I'm working in the daycare, yeah.
Okay. And the daycare requires you to have that?
You got to.
When's the last time you had that training?
A couple of months ago.
The officer then shifted the conversation to Deontay, and it was striking how Sierra's tone changed. She spoke about him with an odd sense of joy and excitement. For a mother who had just lost her daughter, it seemed bizarre that she displayed more emotion for a new man in her life than for her own child.
Like, are you serious with him?
Yes, I am.
Has he ever asked you about the possibility of marriage?
Mm-hmm.
And
but I just told
what
him
are your plans?
I mean, I do want to get married, but I want to make sure it's right from me and my daughter. Because anybody can say they want to marry you. Yeah. Because we, people, he felt like since we've been together for a minute. I mean, not for a minute, but we knew each other for a long time. Mm-hmm. But we just started dating as if we started knowing each other. Basically, that's how I see it. So I want to wait.
So he's already asked you if you'd marry him?
He gave me, if you know, an engagement ring.
He gave you an engagement ring?
That's what, yeah.
How did he react when you told him you're not ready yet?
I mean, he didn't react to nonchalant. He was just like, okay, we give you time. You can't rush into it.
So that's not a deal breaker for him. He's willing to wait for you. Okay. All right. How strongly do you feel that he loves you? Pretty fiercely, or what do you think is going on there?
I think he do.
Okay.
I'm not a dumb female.
You're not a dumb female. Okay. What kind of experience does he have with past girlfriends? And I'm not trying to bring up anything.
I mean, as far as my knowledge, what he told me, he ain't had a female in it. He's waiting on the right one.
So you're the first?
Basically, yeah.
So
first, as in what he take for real.
Yeah. Would you say he's head over heels in love with you?
What you mean?
Maybe that's not a term that your age uses anymore. Like, did he fall hard for you?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And how do you feel that you fell as hard for him?
Yeah.
You did?
I feel like I can trust him.
You feel like you can trust him? Okay.
I don't feel like I felt with a nice father.
Okay. And when he asked you he got you the engagement ring?
It was on Christmas.
Did he get down on one knee?
Deontay's very shy.
Okay.
So it was like in a Christmas bag, basically.
Okay.
And he just led me to the Christmas tree, basically. Because to my knowledge, he tried to make it seem like it wasn't nothing for me for Christmas.
Oh.
It was just stuff for me and Naya under the Christmas tree.
This is this Christmas that just passed, Christmas of 2017?
He was just basically saying to me, I'm sorry I couldn't do this. I can't get you nothing. I can't get you nothing, whatever. Because I just brought me in Naya stuff and him stuff on the tree. And I'm like, I know he brought me, so I know he's going to give me something. He kept saying he couldn't give me nothing. So when me and Naya opened our stuff and I let him open his stuff, he's like, I'm sorry I couldn't get you nothing. So I went in another room. I'm looking like, man, this is crazy. And when I came back, it was a gift under it. It was a big bag, but it was something little.
Okay.
And it was a necklace. It was a necklace too, and it was a ring. He put the ring on top.
Okay. All right. And then when you opened it and saw that it was a ring, did he say something?
He said that's the start.
Ask you, will you marry me?
He'd been asked that before he gave me the ring.
Oh, he's been asking you that. And then on Christmas of 2017, when he presents you with this, what you say is an engagement ring, do you gently let him down? Do you tell him, hey, we're not ready yet? How do you do that?
I didn't let him down. I would have ring to make him happy. I just said we're just going to give it time because I want to make sure you're the man for my daughter because fortunately her father wasn't the one. And I want you to be not a stepfather, I want you to be a father towards my child.
Yeah, I mean, delve too much into your personal relationship with him, but I just wanted to understand what the dynamic is between the two of you. Does Anaya call him Deontay or Dad, or what does she call him?
She called him Daddy once.
She called him Daddy once?
Yeah, she called him Luke.
So let's talk about some history with you and Anaya years before Deontay's even in the picture. Particularly an investigation that I'm familiar with is one from May of 2017. So that one is just before him. But then that opened up our eyes at the Eucalyptus Department to a lot of other indications. What can you tell me about that report from May of 2017?
Wait, what you mean?
The one that involved Children and Family Services?
Even before Deontay entered their life, Sierra was far from being an ideal mother to Anaya. She prized cleanliness and order, qualities that didn't always mesh well with raising a toddler. She also believed in strict discipline. Family members and daycare workers had already begun to notice troubling bruises on Anaya's body, which Anaya herself revealed were caused by her mother. Despite multiple reports, Day always managed to convince the caseworker that nothing was amiss. But this new relationship took the mistreatment to a whole new level.
Yeah, so this, right now, it's March 2018, so we're talking about 10 months ago, there was an investigation involving Children and Family Services.
Yes, it was from Anaya's daycare.
Okay. Can you explain to me what that was about?
A scratch on her head.
How did it go when Children and Family Services followed up with you about that?
Well, first thing they do is go to your home, make sure you got food, make sure your daughter got clothes and shoes, and make sure your home is clean. They talked to me. They was like, you don't look like an abusive mother. I'm like, I'm not. Kids get scratches, scars anywhere. People blow it out of proportion.
Sure.
And they was concerned, but the scratch wasn't that to be all, oh my God. I mean, it's a daycare, so I guess they took it out of proportion or whatever. But when they called, she came up to my house. She was like, you have a lovely home. Anaya seems happy. You got food. She checked to see if she had a bed, shoes, and clothes. And she didn't find nothing, basically.
Did they suggest that you change the way you do anything with?
No.
How long had Anaya been going to the daycare there? This was, what daycare had reported this?
Harbor Crest.
Harbor Crest. And how long had she been at that daycare?
Anaya been at that daycare because she was going to my daycare. We had to give her the infants, so I could transfer her over.
And then at what point did she go back? You said why did you switch her back?
Because I felt like her daycare wasn't on point with their jobs. They ran through like 20 teachers. I found out one of the teachers was caught smoking. And I believe one of the teachers was caught rolling a blunt inside of the daycare. Anaya had 2 bruises on her eye that I wasn't aware of. So lightweight blew up at the daycare.
What happened?
I lightweight blew up at the daycare because the mark was bad. To my knowledge, Jess's mother was bad.
It's no surprise that in reality, there were no such issues. Sierra pulled her daughter out of daycare simply because they had reported their concerns about possible neglect to Child Protection Services.
I switched the night from Harbor Crest when I started hearing other stuff. I heard that the teacher was hitting on the kids. I heard the teachers wasn't. I've been hearing this stuff before, but I couldn't find a daycare for night.
So she went back to Harbor Crest after that investigation. And
then I transferred her, I want to say about like a month or two.
What is your relationship like with Anaya's father?
Horrible. He put his hands on me, so I filed a restraining order.
Is there a police report of this incident that you?
It should have been. I dropped one off at Euclid. I had one in my daycare.
No, not the order. I mean, of the. You're saying that he put his hands on you. Where did that happen?
Mike came up to my job to get ready to take her out. And I felt like he was stalking me. I got documentations because I showed the courts. Him calling me out my name.
Okay.
Him threatening me.
Okay.
He came up to my job unknown. Co-workers had to contact my phone like you might want to watch out. Michael has damaged my apartment on 260th to the point I couldn't get my deposit back. He put his hands on me several times.
Did you make a police report in Euclid when he came to your job?
260th, the cops came out and...
No, I'm asking about, you're saying when did he put his hands on you?
He came to my job. He threatened to put his hands on me.
Oh, he did not put his hands on you?
He threatened.
He threatened. Okay, is that what you got the order based on?
Yeah, and he was stalking me, and when he came to my daycare, he woke all of my daycare kids up. And he put his feet in the middle of the door, and he put his hands on the door. And I asked him, can he leave? And he told me, no, I want my daughter or whatever. I don't get to see my son, so I want to see my daughter. And I'm like, Mike, I don't keep an eye away from you. I'm at work. I will drop her off. And he was like, well, BIT said you want to see my daughter. I'm in daycare. I'm in the work area, so I didn't say nothing to Michael. And as I went to go get my phone, I said I was going to call the cops. He was like, I am a whole security guard. I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of the cops.
Okay, so when you went down to the restraining order, what did you base what you wanted the order off of?
I felt like I was being harassed. I told him I was afraid of my baby daddy. Because they
didn't ask for a report about the time you went to your job?
A report?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they asked you for a police report documenting the time when he came to your job.
They told me I should have had a police report. I didn't want to do that.
So you did not make a police report at that time? Okay, so I'm not the first time asking if there was a police report about that. Okay.
Like the earlier lies, these claims were also fabrications. Sierra concocted these stories when Anaya's father started questioning her about their daughter's deteriorating condition. In a calculated move, Sierra accused him of harassment and stripped away his visitation rights. With every door closing, little Anaya was left completely at the mercy of her cold, soulless mother. It was finally time to confront the truth about how Anaya really sustained her injuries.
So these pictures here show more wholly what I'm talking about, where here you can see toilet tub, toilet tub, toilet tub. Okay, so if you and I are facing the same direction and we're sitting on the toilet, right? Where's the tub?
Tub is right here.
It's on our right. Okay, so if we fall off the toilet,
We found Anaya this way, so she fell like that way because she was faced this way.
but you said you were in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So how did
I
you
said
know?
she was, when we walked there, she was face down this way, is what I just said.
Okay, so her left
The
eye
bone-
is bruised.
Mm-hmm. The bone caught our attention.
Okay.
And when we found her, she was laying towards this way. Her left eye had to hit the tub.
Okay, that doesn't make sense because you have this real small area here where there's not room for somebody to be spinning and moving around. If you fall, you're only going to hit your right side on the tub. Do you understand why I have a question about that? It's not, just like I explained. If the child is sitting here having a bowel movement, like you said, she's...
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. She's presenting with an injury to her left side. Okay, you've got a narrow spot here. The tub is right
my
here.
My toilet's right here. My toilet's right here. My toilet's right there.
Right.
But me and Deontay found her like this though, as if you can be a daisy person. You could just fall like that too.
I don't think she could have felt like that, and the medical professionals are telling us that it's not a viable possibility. Okay, they're the ones that are the experts. Okay, so the injury is not caused from that fall off the
that's what a
toilet.
lot of people say. Injury. It's weird. Injury wouldn't be caused from this. A lot of stuff is shocking too, because a lot of stuff that's happened with kids on my day, I'm like, oh wow,
Okay.
and it was weird.
Okay. When's the last time you had her at a well check?
She went for a WIC appointment not too long ago.
Did they weigh her?
Yeah. She's 4 years old. They told her she would need to come back to 5 o'clock. It's 5. We said she's 5.
Did they weigh her at that appointment?
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
A couple of months ago.
How much did she weigh?
I don't remember.
How much do you think she weighs now?
I don't know.
She's very light right now.
Mhm.
I'm looking at her and estimating she weighs 20 pounds. Do you think
And
that's
I
about
was-
right?
Anaya was throwing up a lot too. And throwing up a lot too can cause you to lose weight. Anaya wasn't a fat child at all.
Okay.
At all. She was like a decent size. She ate a lot, but she was a decent size. Some people was lactose tolerant or whatever. They eat a lot and they don't gain weight. Dealt with kids like that before, ate a lot and was bonier, like skinnier than her.
All right, so getting back to what I was talking about. I would estimate her to be about 20 pounds right now. She's not more than 30 pounds. I can tell that by looking at her. I didn't pick her up or actually weigh her, but this is just, I have 4 kids, so I'm just going on my experience, okay? A child like that who's feeling woozy and not so well, you said, falls off the toilet, there's very little force for the head to make impact, even with the floor. It's completely inconsistent with this.
I
Fall off the
understand
toilet.
what you're saying, but we heard a boom and that
Okay.
boom because that's on her like being late.
In order for her to get that injury to her eye, she would have been dropped from the 2nd floor. But you're saying she fell off the.
I understand what you're saying because I deal with kids a lot and a lot of stuff that happened and they be like, wow, how did that happen too?
Okay. This is different though because
Right.
we have experts who can determine that the injury to the eye did not happen the way that you're saying it did. Okay.
It did because I had her.
It didn't
We
happen
had her
that
on
way.
the toilet. She was on the. Anaya was on the toilet, and when we heard the boom, she was on the floor, and then we saw the cut, and her eye looked like it was swollen up.
Okay. So that injury to her eye, it had to have bled a lot.
She hit her head very hard.
Right.
Very hard.
Yeah, so it would bleed a lot.
It was bleeding. It wasn't that much, but it was a lot. It wasn't that much.
What
blood.
did you use to clean up the blood?
I used peroxide and I used a little bit of alcohol.
Okay.
I put
What did
it on
you use
tissue.
to clean the blood off the apartment? Where did
Off
the
the
blood
floor.
go?
It was on the tub. It was a little bit on the tub.
A little bit on the tub
And a little bit on the floor.
and a little bit on the floor. When you
And
say
I
a
used
little
peroxide.
bit, like
Cause it wasn't that much blood coming out at all.
how many teaspoons of blood?
Like I used about like 4 big paper towels, wet paper towels.
Okay. When did she start appearing this then?
I already didn't know no change in my daughter's body for real, because she was normal to me. She was eating well.
Do you think that this looks okay? These bones sticking out?
I really didn't.
Despite working at a daycare, Sierra Day claims she saw nothing wrong with Anaya's frail frame and protruding bones. She continued to deny that her daughter had any issues, all without showing even a hint of remorse.
You can see her pronounced vertebrae.
Yes, and I noticed that too.
What did you notice?
The way her butt was getting wrinkled. And I basically just thought it was coming because she kept throwing up, and it made contains of her losing weight.
Do you see what I'm pointing to here?
Her leg, yeah.
What is that?
Her bone.
Her bone in her what? Do you know what bone this is here?
Her leg.
Okay. A knee should not be bigger than a thigh. You see how we have a knee that's bigger than her thigh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's going on here with her buttock?
I really just thought because she was just, Anaya wasn't, within the last couple of days, Anaya just kept throwing up. And like I told you, I told my dude, that's the reason why it can be caused because she's losing weight.
You have training in early childhood education. This did not happen since Thursday, okay?
Sometime
before last Thursday, she started looking like this. When was it?
If her body started looking like that, I would have proceeded to take her to the hospital.
Why didn't you take her to the hospital?
Her body wasn't out of proportion to the point that I was concerned to take her to the doctors.
So you saw her body like this?
It wasn't really like that.
But it is like that.
It is like that.
It is like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the doctors have said it did not happen since Thursday.
I know what you're trying to say. It did not
happen since last Tuesday.
Her body wasn't looking like that. Anaya was.
When did her body start looking like that?
I said, well, her butt started looking weird around like Tuesday or Wednesday, but it wasn't out of proportion, so I can call the hospital. What I'm saying. Anaya was throwing up a lot. What I'm telling you, Anaya wasn't a big sized kid.
Child that looks like this,
right,
needs rushed to the ER because there's something seriously wrong. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Right, but you didn't do that. You didn't take her to the doctor.
You
haven't taken her to the doctor since you don't remember when. Sometime when it was summer and maybe not even this past summer.
That's when she had a checkup. And if you go to the hospital, Anaya's been to all her checkups.
Well, what hospital would I go to find
you
that out?
You go to the hospital. Her pediatrician.
You don't even know her pediatrician's name. How am I going to get medical records?
I mean, I've heard it's a male. It's a male, but it's sometimes a woman too, but I don't know her doctor's name. Mm-hmm. Anaya has never had a fat weight or a big weight for it. Mm-hmm. I know her butt never looking like that.
Yeah, we're not talking about whether or not she has fat. There's definitely no fat in this picture. You've got bones that are sticking out further than the thigh. It's totally not normal.
What kind of relationship did you have with Ayana? Your daughter?
Anaya?
Yeah.
A good relationship with my daughter. A good relationship with my daughter. Spoiled.
Okay. Was there any kind of discipline or anything that you've ever? How would you discipline?
No, I barely discipline my child because she's not bad.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
I just be like, if she was to do something wrong, I don't do that.
But when she did do something wrong, like if she went the
only thing Anaya probably do is she'll throw a little tantrum. You can ask my family, she'll throw a little tantrum, whatever, and I'll be like, Anaya, stop. Or probably what I do to my daycare kids, I put her in timeout based on her age.
Okay.
And I barely did that.
What is that?
Put them
I know what timeout is, but what do you mean by age? I don't understand.
Like 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Like if they 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes.
1 minute per their age. Basically. Where does she go to timeout?
By the couch.
Okay. And does she sit on the couch?
I just sit on the couch.
Sit on the couch for timeout?
Yeah, take the tablet away from her, and I won't give her no candy until she realizes what she did, because Anaya's very smart.
Okay.
Other than that, she's not a bad child. So I didn't have to distance Anaya.
Do you understand what you're going to be charged with today?
No, ma'am.
What does she look like in this picture?
Her child, she has a black eye.
Okay. Does she look well?
No, she was sick.
Okay.
So I was a very concerned mother. That's all I was doing, what I had to do as a mother to make sure she get better. Because if I didn't care, I wouldn't
Do
have
you
did
want
it.
to continue to sit in this room and tell me the story you've been telling me?
What you mean?
The lies you've been telling me. Do you want to continue to tell them?
I'm not, it's not no lies. I'm literally legit on my right hand to God is telling you the truth.
You're not telling me the truth.
I'm telling you the truth. That's what happened to my child. I don't have no reason to lie. Deontay was my witness.
Well, unfortunately, you and Deontay do not have the same story.
How come we don't have the same story? She fell.
Well, I'm giving you the opportunity to make it right here by telling me the truth.
I am telling you the truth.
I wouldn't be sitting here with you if I thought you were telling me the truth, because we'd be done already. Okay?
I mean, I'm not lying about nothing. That's what happened. And I don't see how.
Your story does not at all match what caused these injuries to your daughter. Okay? It's not truthful what you're telling us.
I'm telling you, I have no reason to lie. Like if it was cameras in my house, you would have seen it.
Well, there are no cameras in your house.
I'm just saying.
This is not a fall. Okay? You can stop trying to convince us that we know this is not a fall.
Miss, I put this on my unborn child. I'm not trying to convince nothing.
Are you pregnant?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay. You said you're unborn child. I just was asking if you're pregnant. Okay.
I mean,
This is
I
not for
understand-
me, okay?
Right.
I'm not a medical doctor. We have medical doctors confirming this is not a fall,
Mhm.
okay? Would you think the medical doctor is the expert, right?
I mean, anybody can be an expert. You know what I mean?
Not anybody. It takes a lot of work to
I mean,
get
I'm not saying it like
a
that.
degree, a medical degree, you know, your
I'm gonna get what you're saying.
you're licensed to practice medicine, especially to be a pediatrician,
Right.
because that's a further area of specialty.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's possible that with a new relationship and the prospect of marriage on the horizon, Sierra may have started to see Anaya as a hurdle in her life. Perhaps that's why she began mistreating Anaya, eventually leading to the poor child's tragic demise. Despite the lies, both Sierra Day and her boyfriend, Deontay Lewis, were arrested and later indicted on charges of aggravated murder. During the trial, several police officers and paramedics testified that the apartment had been recently cleaned. One officer even mentioned the strong smell of cleaning supplies, including bleach, mixed with the unsettling odor of rotting meat. A jury ultimately found them guilty on multiple charges, including aggravated murder, felonious assault, permitting child abuse, 3 counts of endangering children, and tampering with evidence. During the trial, Sierra had little to no emotional response to anything being said or done. The world can be pretty twisted, and sadly, people like Sierra aren't that rare. The next case we're looking at is just as shocking and unsettling. It will make you question a lot about human nature.
I've never had a gun. I've never purchased one. Never.
These are the phony justifications and fake tears of Cassandritz Blanc, a man so consumed by his own ego that he shot and killed his wife simply because he felt disrespected. His cruelty didn't stop at murder. He went on to dismember her body in a brutal act of violence. Remarkably, he showed no genuine remorse until he was on the verge of being caught. His interrogation video is nothing short of shocking and chilling, with his face displaying a disturbing lack of emotion and a cold, unsettling indifference to the horrors he has committed.
I'm not going to play games with you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to try to trick you into anything. Within the next few minutes, You're going to find out where I'm coming from, but quite honestly, you already know it. And it's your choice whether you decide to be honest with me. The only thing that I would ask is to not lie to me.
Okay. Well, I had just a little shot of it. Not this morning, but
Look, last night,
yeah.
you seem pretty straight. That's what I mean.
I'm not drunk.
Okay.
I'm not under the influence at all.
Right.
You can test me.
No. You seem. I just.
Yeah. I only drunk recreationally.
Okay.
Reason being is because if you can understand where I'm coming from, and it's I was extremely emotional about this because I took it upon myself to ask my wife, hey, listen, would you like to go see? Well, first of all, she didn't want to go to the baby shower. There was a baby shower that was arranged. She didn't want to go.
When was this?
A few days, like, what's today? Tuesday. This was supposed to be on a Saturday.
You and your wife been married?
Since October.
October of, like, just recently, within.
Yes, this year.
6 months, 7 months?
Yes.
This is the last time your wife is missing currently, or hasn't been seen for a day or two?
My wife is missing. Well, here's what's going on.
Okay.
So.
Are you two having marriage problems, or?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. We have a great marriage. So basically, I woke up. And I saw a woman at my door.
When was this?
Tonight, actually.
Okay.
There was a woman at my door. And I was startled. Who are you? And she explained to me that I'm Martine's friend. She explained to me that you paid for the cell phone. You bought her the cell phone. Do you want her belongings, or should I just throw it out, or burn it? She gave me those options, and I said, well, I want it. I mean,
now it's like 7 o'clock Tuesday morning. About when was this?
5 a.m. 4 or 5 a.m.
Early this morning.
Yes, sir.
A couple hours ago. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
I've never met her before, never seen her in a day of my life.
Okay.
I was really scared because, like I told the previous detective, that this is why I didn't want to give my address. For one, because I didn't want people knowing where I live, trying to kill me, kidnap me, torture me. So
I've got to ask you one thing. Have you ever been treated for mental illness?
Mental illness?
Right.
Do you say I have mental illness?
No, I'm asking you if you've ever been treated for it.
I don't have mental illness.
Okay, I didn't think so, but again, I don't know you, so I just have to ask. So the woman shows up, you don't know this woman? Describe her for me.
She's black. She said her name was, I think Shani, I think that's what she said. She's black. She has braids, a little short. She came inside my apartment.
Older, younger?
Younger. She looked young.
Like what age?
She walked herself in, and she just explained to me, here, read the text message.
Hold on. The keys, she let herself in with whose keys?
Martine's keys. And she had some kind of rag in her hand, and she just threw her belongings towards me.
Where are Martine's keys?
In the kitchen. She says.
In the kitchen in your apartment?
She says, yes, that's where she put it. Yes.
What do her keys look like?
It's got a big M. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Showed you a text message? On whose phone was the text message?
She told me, why don't you check the text message that she sent you? And I opened the text and I read it. And it's basically Martine just saying she's had enough. I've just read quickly, and she telling me she loves me and she doesn't want me to go through anything like that, and I was just stunned, and I said, "Where is she?" And she said she's with my brother, and they're doing it right now.
So this woman says that your wife is having sex. Was that what she was implying?
Not having sex, no.
Like, what's doing it?
So basically, the text message I read was Martine basically saying that. Basically, long story short, I don't remember exactly what was said in the text.
Whose phone is it on?
My phone.
Where's your phone?
I wasn't able to bring anything with me.
I mean, is your phone at your house, or did you have it in your pocket?
Like, basically, the officers, they stripped me of everything.
But did you have your phone on you? Did the officers take your phone, or was it in the apartment?
It was in the apartment.
What kind of phone do you have?
An iPhone.
An iPhone.
From the very beginning, Blanc's statements are incredibly bizarre. Who in their right mind would let a stranger into their home, much less allow them to dictate checking their phone? It was these odd and troubling statements that led the investigating officer to question Blanc about his mental health.
He was explaining, her issues with her dad. She couldn't take it anymore. Basically, it was basically a lot of like animosity towards him through the text message, and she basically was like, I did it, And
did what?
Like, she was responsible for her dad's death.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, she said she was helped. An individual named Juan.
Juan.
Yeah, Juan. And she said she took something about taking care of him too.
She killed Juan too?
She said, yeah.
Had you known your wife to be violent before?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all, but a lot of weird things have been happening lately.
Wasn't your wife pregnant?
Yeah. She's pregnant.
Whose child was that?
My
Was it your
child.
child? Okay.
Yeah, 6 months. She's still capable of, still walking, moving, doing chores. The only thing she can't do is bend.
Let me just, to make sure that I understand this right, basically, this woman shows you a text, the woman tells you, check your text messages.
Check my phone.
Check your phone. You open up your phone and you have a text message. Is it showing that it's coming from your wife?
Yes.
So it's not somebody else pretending to be your wife, it's coming from your wife's phone.
Yes.
And it says, does she say anything about killing her father?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said it.
When did she send the text message?
I was asleep. I didn't even realize that I even got a text message like that. She told me, why I was confused. She said, why don't you check your phone to see, what's going on?
Well, let me ask you this before I get confused. When you opened up your phone, did it show up as a new text message? You know how you get that little thing saying you have a text message?
Yeah.
When was the last time that you looked at your phone last night? Like, what time did you lay down or go to bed?
Well, that I don't remember.
I mean, was that text message on there at 10 o'clock last night?
I don't think so.
9 o'clock last night? I mean, have you checked your phone since 9 or 10 o'clock last night?
Oh, yeah, of course. After the father was missing, Martine's, whole demeanor has changed. She basically doesn't want to be out. I told her Investigations wants to come see you. I texted her that because her phone isn't. There's something wrong with her phone as far as calling. And I texted her. I said Investigations need to see you because you not showing up, it makes you look really bad.
And this was yesterday sometime? Okay. Let me ask you this. When was the last time that you had seen her father? When was the last time that you saw your wife?
Same day, Saturday.
You didn't see her Sunday? You didn't see her Monday?
I saw her on Sunday.
Okay.
I saw her Sunday. I saw her, well,
Today's Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Did you see her yesterday, Monday at all?
Did I see her yesterday? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I saw her yesterday.
Where did you see her yesterday?
At home. She's always home.
Okay. Does she work?
She worked at Aetna and she quit. She didn't feel comfortable. and she said she's just going to quit and find something else. She's the type of person that quits jobs and starts new ones. And
How long ago did she quit?
I think a week and a half.
Okay. So you saw her sometime yesterday, morning, afternoon?
Yesterday I saw her all day up until Investigations told me to come by.
What time was that about?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't remember. It was maybe
Before lunch, after lunch?
I'm sorry. I'm really not thinking straight right now.
Yeah, I got it.
Let me take some time to think. Because they called me.
Mm-hmm.
They called me, and I called them back, and I told them I would come right then and there.
When they called you, where were you?
At home.
And was your wife there with you when they called you?
Yes.
Okay, so how's your pregnancy going?
She had a healthy baby boy. I always went to the doctor's appointment with her. Regular checkups. Never missed an appointment with her. I was, very serious dad. I wanted to be involved, and we had plans to name him after me. We had all types of these plans. We've even called Herbalife to start a college fund, and we were going to start saving, even though he's not born yet.
It's important to do that for kids right off the bat.
Yeah, and it's never too early. People would have said before he's even born, and it makes sense because Martine actually had a miscarriage before.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the type of person. She doesn't like traditional practices. She doesn't like the hospitals. She doesn't like giving birth through epidural. She wanted to give a water birth. She asked the doctor about that.
Well, have you all picked out a name already?
After me.
What was the name going to be? The full name?
Cassandra's Block Jr.
Okay.
Oh wait, there's a middle name. I think Josiah.
Okay.
It's Lear. She told me. I always forget. Something about watching over God. Not watching over God. Watching over your. I'm not even going. I don't even remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
During the interrogation, Blanc made several critical mistakes. First, he invented an entire scenario about a woman showing up at his home, perhaps not realizing that phone records are easily recoverable and that such messages would be detected almost immediately. Secondly, his statements about when he last saw his wife were inconsistent and incoherent. These discrepancies clearly suggested something suspicious was going on, and it pointed straight to Blanc.
Yes, absolutely.
Where did y'all meet?
We actually met in school. We met through school, and we started talking, and we just saw each other frequently. And not recently, but at some point we started seriously talking, and then we hung out. I met her dad, I met her mom, I met her brother. I met the entire family.
You get along with the family?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, of course, they're Haitian.
You leave, she's in bed.
Yes, sir.
You go down and you talk to Hollandale or Hollywood?
Hollywood.
You do go down and talk to Hollywood people, Hollywood investigators. You finish up there about what time? Is it dark out when you finish up there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where do you go then?
Where did I go?
Mm-hmm.
I just took a drive around the city. I didn't go straight home, to be very honest with you.
Any idea what time you got home? Did you go anyplace else between driving and coming home? Did you go out for dinner? You go out for drinks? You go out for...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You come home about what time?
I believe it was...
Approximate, it doesn't.
I have to check my phone because I wasn't really paying attention to the time because the way it ended, I didn't really appreciate that. So
the way what ended?
The conversation with the detectives.
Oh, with the Hollywood.
Yeah, because I showed up, I gave you my side of the story. And they started to tell me how, you know, we didn't see a Hispanic man in front of the door or a van. Looking at them, how are you going to tell me if that's exactly what I saw in the background, a van? I'm not crazy at all. I mean, you can have a physician test me. I mean, I'm not mental at all. I know what I saw. You know, I was just very sensitive.
Well, that's an issue that you have with them, but so I'm just trying to sort out the last night.
That's the reason why I was driving around the city. Plus, I felt as though because after they asked me for my address, and I declined that because I do have that right to decline it. They thought it was suspicious of me to just decline giving my address. I can understand why, and I gave them my reasoning as far as why not, because I don't want anything to happen to me. Well, now obviously you guys already know where I live. It's now going to be on a report. That's what I didn't want to, that's what I wanted to prevent. So that's why I declined. So I felt as though I was being followed.
That's separate. That's separate. I mean, you felt you're being followed by what?
Hollywood police.
Last night?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you get home
person.
You get home sometime after dark. Do you talk to anybody after you get home? You make any?
No.
Okay. You just chill out there. You have what'd you say? You had a shot or something?
Yeah, I had a shot and I just went to bed.
What'd you drink?
It was
what's your drink of choice?
A pint of the officer asked me the same thing. Mango. I forgot the name brand. Name some name brands.
Mango brandy or?
It's mango's the flavor.
Vodka?
Not vodka.
Rum? I don't know. I don't drink anything mango. I eat mangoes. But okay, so you have one of those little bottles.
Yeah. I had a shot of that and I fell asleep. Well, no, not one of those little bottles. I actually had a pint like this size.
Oh, okay.
But it was up to here, and I just took it and it relaxed my nerves and just went to sleep.
Oh, like schnapps, mango schnapps or something? Yeah, I'm not sure what that would be. So you crash. The next thing you know, does anything happen between when you crash and when you're woken up by the woman?
I was waiting for my wife to come home. I thought she was with her sister at the movies. And
now, did she send you a text message saying she was at the movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
She got picked up by her sister to go to the movies, and it wasn't true.
But she told you that.
Yes, sir.
And it came from her.
Yes, sir.
And about what time was that? Any idea?
11
p.m.?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
When did you talk to her on the phone at all after you left yesterday? When you went down for your interview? I know you said you had several text messages with her. Did you ever speak with her after you left the apartment?
Yesterday?
Right.
Yeah, she was home. Yesterday when it was the interview,
right, that's what I mean. You get in the car and you drive. Did you go to the Hollywood station?
Yes, sir.
You drive to the Hollywood station. I know between, say, yesterday evening, early evening, and this morning sometime, you had text messages from your wife. Did you ever talk to her on the telephone?
No.
Did you all normally just communicate through text messages?
Well, it's her sister. I mean, I don't see why not. I thought it was her sister.
Do you think she's screwing around on you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
So this woman shows up this morning somewhere around, what did you say, 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
And tell me again, she knocked on the door and woke you up, or she came in and woke you up?
She opened the door.
Did you wake up when you heard the door open, or did she wake you up?
She woke me up.
How?
She just, hey.
She came into your bedroom? Where were you sleeping?
In the bedroom.
You didn't hear her come into the apartment?
Well, we just moved into the apartment. When I'm asleep, I don't really hear anything unless you're yelling at my ear.
Okay.
We just moved in. We don't really have furniture. We were actually planning to do that. It's been 2 months. we just have a little bed. We were actually going to get a bed. We actually were going to get the bed that I had when I was living with my parents. It's a big old bed, and we were going to bring that to the apartment. We also bought a refrigerator.
She gives you your wife's phone, and what else does she give you?
And she tells me where the hand truck is located.
Okay.
So that's...
When was the last time you saw the hand truck?
Well, it was sitting in my apartment.
When you went to the police interview yesterday?
It was in my apartment. So...
And when you came back last night, where was it?
Well, she told me it was downstairs and it had blood on it, and I never had blood on my hand truck, so that's why I had took some cleaning gloves because I didn't want to touch all of that, and I just took a trash bag. It smelled really bad, and I just took it.
The hand truck smelled bad?
And I threw it out. Yeah.
Okay. And who did this woman say she was again?
They're friends, she said.
Okay. And what?
She said I'm her friend.
And what did her brother have to do with it?
Her brother wasn't in the apartment. She said her brother is taking care of the situation.
Okay.
About the text message.
Taking care of? What did you take that to mean?
So basically, my wife, after she said that she was, responsible for her dad's passing, she said she didn't want to, something about not wanting to be in prison with a baby, giving birth, losing a child.
She said all this in a text message?
And yeah, she sent a really long paragraph. I had to scroll through.
Is that still on your phone?
Yes, sir.
Now, how do you get into your phone?
How do I get into
do you have a passcode on the phone?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to give me that code? We need to get the message.
Yes, I can give it to you.
What's your code?
But I don't know her passcode. Her passcode, it's...
As long as we can get it off your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's important.
So, basically...
Blanc's behavior was utterly nonsensical. Who would remain so calm upon seeing a stranger with their spouse's belongings? For someone whose wife is missing, his unsettling calmness is deeply disturbing. On top of that, he kept adding and removing details from his statements, making everything even more suspicious.
She wanted to kill herself. And after she died, she wanted to be burnt, like, into fire.
Did she say how she was going to kill herself?
A gun, using the woman's brother's gun.
What kind of... Does she have a gun?
Does she have a gun?
Right.
Not her, but sounds the way that... Well, actually, I don't know, actually. She may very well have a gun, but based on the text message, it sounds like she doesn't, because Martine is asking her for her brother's gun, if that makes sense.
So, if I understand this right, and correct me if I'm wrong, she's saying that, and it's all written down somewhere, so she's saying that she shot her father, and then she shot the other guy too?
Yes.
So that's two of them. And you don't know, and you think it was the other guy's gun that she used?
Perhaps.
Have you ever seen her with a gun before?
No.
Do you have a gun?
No.
Okay.
And speaking of, so basically another thing she gave me, like threw at me, was the gun. It came in a box with a bag, and I looked. I made the mistake touching it, but I never, obviously.
Well, I mean, she handed it to you, so.
I never used it, and.
Where in your bedroom?
Either it's on the bed or on the floor, because I immediately put it away.
Okay.
So
let me ask you this: is there anything else in that apartment that this woman brought in that belonged to your wife? Is your wife's phone in there?
Yes.
Where's the phone?
In the bedroom, because she threw it at me. Remember?
That's the one in the white wallet.
Yeah.
Your wife's keys are in the kitchen. That's the one with the M on it?
Yes.
Anything else that she gave you that belonged to your wife?
clothes and
And where are they?
in the room.
In the bedroom or in the?
In the bedroom, yes, sir.
Okay. And what are they? Are they folded up? Are they in a box? Are they in a?
Just munched up. It wasn't even folded. It's like this and just.
Anything else that did she bring you anything in a box? Did she bring you anything in a bag? Did she bring you anything in a sack?
Yeah, the gun I told you and
Right.
the ammunition. Like it's got a whole case of ammunition.
But I mean, how did she bring that in? That's what I'm asking. What was it? Was it all? Was she
in
just
the bag,
carrying it?
in the bag, yeah. And she had a rag. She had a rag that she was holding, and she was just holding it.
What kind of bag?
Maybe another.
The little bag of chips. You want? What do you want? You want? I think you got a choice. We got chips or we got cookies.
I'll take the cookies.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hold on a minute.
Thank you.
I appreciate you filling in the blanks here for me.
Of course.
Killed her father and Juan.
So it sounds like my wife killed herself, or she's the type of person that she. How can I say it? She doubts herself a lot. She doubts. She's easily scared. So a lot of times
But she would have killed herself in a 5 or 6 hour period because she was alive at 7 o'clock when you went to 6 o'clock when you went to Hollywood. She was alive when you got the text message at 9 o'clock after the interview.
I told her, you need to go see Investigations right now because they're wanting to speak to you tonight. It's very serious. It's your dad. Your dad
And
is
you think
there.
that's why she killed herself?
I think so. She admitted it in the message. She didn't want to go through the consequences.
Cassandra, I just want to make sure that I've got this right because I don't want to take notes and be completely off on this. You go down and you talk to the Hollywood guys, they're getting a little confrontational with you, it kind of throws you off. You leave, somebody's following you, you go back to your place.
Two cars.
A couple people are following you. Mm-hmm. You go back to your place, you do a shot, you crash. You're not that concerned about your wife because you're getting a text message from her saying that she was there when you left at about 7 p.m. Monday. About 6 p.m. Monday or whatever it was.
I wasn't concerned because I left.
And she sent you a text message
I left and she was there. And when I said I'm coming to pick you up, she was like, I'm at the Joanne picked me up to go to the movie theater.
And this was sometime around
after when I said you need to go to see Investigations.
Okay, this was after you'd already talked to the investigators.
Right.
8 or 9 o'clock.
After I texted her to say I'm coming to pick you up, so that we can go together for you to speak to Investigations.
Okay, so 8 or 9 o'clock last night.
And it's like something like that. And
Okay.
It's like she.
Well, bear with me for a minute. We'll come back to that. So that's the last time that you actually hear from her, correct? Well, that you're actively texting back and forth. You go back somewhere around midnight, before, after, have a shot, and crash.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, it's somewhere around 4 o'clock, and there's a woman in your bedroom that you don't know who she is. She's waking you up.
Blanc was clearly projecting his own actions onto his wife. His claim that she wanted to kill herself and their child was an immediate red flag for the officer. Moreover, Blanc's attempt to justify his actions by suggesting his wife had previously claimed she wanted to kill her father only added to the suspicion. It was as if she was trying to rationalize his own guilt by fabricating a narrative to support his claims. But it was now time to get some clear answers.
Got to be honest. From this point forward, you just got to tell me what happened. You know they were watching you, but you already knew that. You knew that they just didn't happen to stumble upon you. The guys were sitting in the alley for 4 or 5 hours. That's why they called the patrol units to come down and grab hold of you. They've already pulled her out of the dumpster. out of the one small one. They pulled the hand card out of the other. They're doing search warrants to go into the house. You didn't mean for this to happen. I can look at you and tell. I can sit here with you right now and know that you didn't mean for any of this to happen. That something happened that just kind of pushed this out of control. That something just started spinning around. But that's what I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me your side.
What typically happens with the person?
You know, a lot of it depends. A lot of it depends because every case is different. I've been in this unit.
I'm just wondering.
I've been in this unit for 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't, and again, I'm not going to be one of these guys that's going to sit here and say, look, you tell me the truth and I'll take care of it and I'll make it go away, because I can't do that. I can tell the state that you were cooperative, that when confronted, you came forward and you said what happened. I mean, look at you, you're not a fucking killer. You're not a killer. I can sit, you're eating fucking cookies. But something tripped, something flipped, and I want to know what it was. I mean, I want to know, I want to be able to go forward and say, yes, he was cooperative, yes, when confronted, he explained it to me. I mean, he said what happened, just like what happened. Get it off, I guarantee you, you're going to feel better. I can tell you from doing this for 19 years, I know that you did. But something tripped. I mean, obviously, she's been dead more than 5 or 6 hours. What happened?
I just need some time to eat my cookies. So
Okay.
hungry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Again, that's all this has come down to now. I mean, this is just your side. I've got all the other stuff. We've collected the stuff. You know how phones work. The phone tracking system, like if I send you, if I'm sitting here and I send you a text message, it's going to show up on your phone. When I go back and pull those reports with it, now not the regular phone report, but when I pull the report with a court order, it's going to tell me not only where my phone was when that text message was sent, but where your phone was when it was received. And it's going to tell me that within several yards.
Why do you say I killed my wife?
Because she's dead. Because you put her in the dumpster. And you know you did. And then this is what we could sit and play, and you're entitled to continue to play this out. If you hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
But you're entitled to that. You're entitled to play this out. But it's time for you to be straight, and it's time for you to come forward and say what happened. Same thing. I mean, it's time. It's you made a terrible mistake. Whether she pushed you into it, whether she cornered you, whether she verbally, physically, whatever, but you made a bad mistake, and there's no real correcting that mistake, but there is a getting right with it. And you know, you could do the same thing that some people do. You could say, look, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. That's not going to give you peace in here. It's not going to give you the peace. You just got to be straight and tell me what happened.
It was almost bizarre how Blanc had the nerve to eat cookies and drink soda while being confronted. He showed no shame or guilt, acting as if nothing was wrong. But out of the blue, for the second time, he asked the cop what happens to people in these situations. It was as if the cold-blooded killer was desperately fishing for some sort of a deal, trying to grasp at any chance to escape the consequences of his actions.
People, I'm not saying that it applies to me, but, you know, with people...
Hypothetically.
People that, you know, are in situations where they've, you know, murdered or whatnot, is there a possibility of, like, you know, they can get out? What are those circumstances?
And make sure, listen to me clearly, because I want to make sure that you understand this. I can tell you that cooperation and that honesty go a long ways towards that. I can tell you that depending on, let's say hypothetically, that I had somebody in here this morning, not you, and I talked to them and they found themselves in a bad position and something happened and they fucked up and they killed their wife. And they tell me, I've got nothing to say. And we go ahead and we charge them. And we go ahead and we collect the evidence and we prove the phones, we prove the cleanup in the house, the blood, we prove this, we prove that, and it goes to trial. There's no remorse, there was no honesty, there was no remorse. Jury does whatever they do and they convict the person. On the other hand,
The crocodile tears start in 3, 2, 1.
I can tell you how you're ready to let it go. Just let it go. What happened? Cassandra, what happened? How come?
My life is done.
Where did it happen? Was it in the apartment? Here. Is this water? Just let it go. Let it out while you're doing it. Just let Cassandra, let's work through this. Let's get it out. What was it over? It was over her father, wasn't it? What was it over? Was it over, was it your child? Was it over her screwing around? Was it over... Come on, man. You gotta let it go. Just no spin. Just straight up. When I walk out of here today, and when I'm typing this up, I want to be able to say that although there was some initial confusion, and there was some initial misinformation, that when confronted, you did the right thing, you said what happened, and we went forward from there. Even though I can guarantee you absolutely nothing, and I'm not the one to make any bargains or deals with, I can tell you that if you're honest with me, I'll go to the prosecutor and I'll make sure that they know that, just like I've done that hundreds of times in the past. Let's start out with the small part. Where did it happen? We just need to know, because that's where we're going to have to work it. Was it in the apartment? Or in the car?
Just give me a moment, please.
Okay. But I only want the truth. At this point, I don't want you to be dishonest with me. No lies, no half-truths.
Can I please have a moment, about 2 minutes, please?
How convenient for Blanc to suddenly feel sorry, right? Just as the officer hinted that showing remorse could help, Blanc broke down and faked tears. According to reports, Martine Bernard was 6 months pregnant when she was killed for what Blanc claimed was disrespecting him. Just 5 days after her death, Blanc allegedly went to her parents' house, shot his father-in-law, Roosevelt Bernard, and then dumped the body in a dumpster before setting it on fire. Investigators discovered that Blanc had tried to cover up his crimes by sending himself text messages from his wife's phone. He was also caught disposing of garbage bags filled with his wife's body parts in their apartment complex. Blanc has been charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder and is being held in jail without bond. Both the cases of Sierra Day and Cassandritz Blanc reveal just how twisted and dark the human mind can become. It's horrifying to think that someone could commit these brutal acts against their own loved ones. What are your thoughts on these criminals? Share them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.